Okay guys, welcome back to another episode. So look what we have here, a Dyno Pro Comp. Look at this, let's check out this. 1988. This one here was brought to us, all put together, been refinished. I don't know who refinished it, but it's pretty bright. That's why I have to have those sunglasses on. The decals, really well done. This is not hard to find model. Now guys, just a real quick, the difference with the Pro Comp. Some of you guys would already know the inverted brakes, whereas the non-Pro Comp, the Comp and the Detour, doesn't have this at all. The brakes up here, or it has a brakes down here where you could use the Diacom AD. Also, the Pro Comp fork has a bend, but it has two brake routes. That's internal, whereas the other one isn't, it's external. That's how you can tell it's a Pro Comp. So what are we doing today? Since this thing's already been built up, we are going to do a how to install a Spintech. Now, I've been open for going on 24 years, guys. It's been quite a long time. Thank you to a lot of my locals. But this is only my second one that I've worked on the Spintech. Why is that? Because most of the people, they prefer the Odyssey Gyro or the SST Orb. And the Spintech, it is good. It is somewhat of a gyro system. But the thing is that it's always missing parts and people are not familiar with it. I myself, I like this little technology right here, but if I had a choice, I would put the Odyssey Gyro. It is a lot easier to work on and I feel like it's better. So these are some of the components we're putting on. Front brakes, we're gonna be doing the Diacom Nippon. These are repops. All these are repop, guys. Diacom 990, the AD 990. Tech 77 with the lock. And of course, my pile of wires that we're gonna do. Okay guys, so let's get on this. First of all, what I'm gonna do is all this, I check all these, it's all good. Props to the owner, he installed all this right. He just didn't know how to do the routing, which, like I said, this is only my second one. It was a little confusing. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna run the cable in here. These are the two cable I got. We are going to run it through there, and this one run here. So when it pulls, there you go. So this is the complicated piece where everybody gets confused. What this is right here, if you guys are familiar with the gyro system, this right here is pretty much, watch, this thing's gonna whip me in my face. This little system right here is what's inside this. So the cable goes in here, this little doohickey tightens that one, and it splits into this and it pulls. So some of you might ask, well, why don't you use this? Very good question. I was going to convert the whole thing to this, but the problem with this is if I ran this cable through here and I was to go up here, look, it'll be a lot cleaner. But see this little ball right here? It won't go through there. So I would have to cut it and use a NARP. Some of you guys might be like, you know what? I would rather do that. But the problem I have, guys, is it's not long enough. You see how it's right there, it's long? This thing, when it pulls, goes all the way up here. This is maxed out, it won't pull. So that was the problem that I was facing. That if I did that, that would have happened. I would rather use this than that complicated system, but it is what it is.
What if you just cut the housing so you get more inner cabling?
What do you mean?
Cut the little ball at the top, pull the housing out, and you cut the housing. That way there's more inner link.
I guess I could try that.
Yes. The young brakeless rider figures out the 80s gyro brakes.
Damn kids. Whatever. Yes, I guess we're gonna do that. So we're going to ditch this idea because I really hate that. Because guys, if this thing stays here, look how close it is. It's pretty much rubbing against this. So I am glad I figured that. Sorry, he figured it out. But I'm gonna take all the credit, so what? Who's in favor of it was my idea, over the kids? Everybody does, Max. Nobody care what you think. Cut this is scary. There goes the little balls. God, already I got both of my balls cut off. So bad, so bad. Pull that out right there. So if you guys notice, I don't know why they do this, but you see all these little barrel adjusters? Nothing fits these guys. Nothing fits. So, guys, these things, they're pretty easy. All you have to do is do this. Let's get a little channel lock. Grab that. And then you could pull this off. See? You don't have to cut it, guys. You don't have to cut it. Right in there. It's starting to work. It's starting to work. Oh, I'm such a genius. This side here. Put this guy in. Okay, so now I can kind of mock that up to see how much I'm gonna cut. I don't know, Max. I don't know if we could cut that much, but we're gonna try. So we have determined that we're gonna cut about 1 inch. Okay, you gotta trim that. You know, I do this just in case I forget and I route all the cable together. Always give it a little bit. As I'm doing this, I'm thinking people are like, oh, I cut it with this. This is good if you have a really sharp one, but it won't ever cut as good as these. Okay, these things are the way to go. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna use these little narps. Okay, we're going to take that. I love these things, guys. We use this thing in our car too. Whenever we're like routing throttles and carburetor stuff. There's a little Allen key in there. And what this thing does is when you put the cable in, you tighten it, it will just squeeze it so you can actually make custom cable. Yes, guys, can you imagine if you went and did your own gyro cables? You could do it all sorts of colors. Okay, where's my, I love this. Love this. All right, so if you're a professional like me, you love to work on the floor. And guys, another tip, don't just push it in, because what it's gonna do is gonna fray this up. So what I do is I like to twist it the direction that thing is twisting. Get here, see how it's hard? Twist. Look at that. I know some of you guys are paying attention going, oh my God. I would rather do that than go through the whole Spintech thing, the other system they have. Okay, look how much easier that is compared to the other one. Then what I'm gonna do is, watch how these things work, guys. There's a little tiny hole right here. There we go. Look at that. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm going to bring it all the way up here, close as possible. Now, you guys comment in. How many of you guys love these little NARP things? I've used it to make custom upper gyro kits and all that for people. I'm not vicing it down. There you guys go. So far, so good. If you look under here, you can see there's a barrel. So this is gonna go right there. We're gonna size this guy up, push this thing all the way up here, be about right there. You guys, don't be shy, comment in. I read all you guys comment, trust me. Some of you guys send me like DMs and you guys like, hey, you know, I love this video, great video, dude, I appreciate it. But you know what, guys? Do that to the YouTube, because I don't get paid for it. Alfredo, he gets paid for it, but you know what he does? He buys cool stuff like the camera we're using right now. That's all the money that he gets from YouTube. He invested in stuff like that. So when YouTube see us get engagements, they reward us. You guys notice everything I do, I just put, you know, lubrication on, because that's the key. There's so much movement in all this. That's the key to it. We're gonna do the 990 brakes right now. So what I like to do, because this bike right here, it's got some powder coat. What I gotta do is I got the strip of sandpaper. It's fine sandpaper. And I like to go and I like to clean that out. See how clean that is? It's not clean. It doesn't make it, it makes it very, very rough. The secret to a lot of the brakes that we do, where you guys are like, oh my God, it's all about like just oiling up the cable, oiling up all the joints. If you guys want to see how I tune these, look at the old videos we have up. I don't know which one it is. You guys have to search it. But real quick, you loosen it up, turn this, and watch. See? Look at this one. This one doesn't really do anything. Now you guys don't have to crank. Oh, speaking of not cranking, you guys don't have to turn this thing so much, because there'll be a lot of pressure. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a little straddle cable, okay? If you guys notice, there is a built-in NARP right here. Okay, that's what's gonna hold the cable. On this side, there's a hook. This hooks right in. This goes into here. This hooks and it pulls. I like to keep it about that much. So now I'm pretty happy with that. I'm gonna tighten this, but I still won't vice it down. Okay? So watch this. We're gonna pull. See, look up here. When you pull the brake lever, this pulls. Ah, see that? See that? Okay, now that we got all that situated, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to go and hook up the lever. One of my pet peeves is I don't like to dial everything in until I get everything hooked up. Then I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna fine tune everything, okay? So, because there's no point of fine tuning this if I haven't put on the brake lever and did all this up here. Now, I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna skip through this. The cable is gonna go in here. It's gonna come out this little part right here. I already went ahead and did it because it takes that long. But you guys are gonna be like, wait, how do you do it? If you feed this thing in, there's a little tiny opening right here where you gotta feed the cable in. How do you get it come back out here? The trick to this, guys, so what I do is I feed this thing in. And as I feed it in here, I'm gonna kind of turn it, and it'll pop out this little hole right here. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna guide it up, and then it's gonna go up, and now it's in here. What is the point of that, guys? Because now, check this out. I'm gonna take the cable, which I'm gonna feed it through here. I'm gonna use the inner as a guide. Look, it's not gonna go through, okay? It's gonna go all the way in. Okay, so now that I have it in, you notice, look, I'm feeding it through here. I'm using this as a guide. There's no way you're gonna be able to do that without feeding this line in first. So now you got this in, push it through. Now that you guys have all that right there, now guess what? You can pull this thing out. Why? Because now you can feed it through here and it'll go up to the brake lever. All right, guys, so while the camera's being charged, believe it or not, guys, we're filming this thing with only 10% and it runs out and we do it again. Why? Just because we suck. So I went in and ran this and I ran the top one. Look, cable's not in, but I just made sure I measured it. So what I'm gonna do now, before I trim this, I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna install the front brakes. Okay, so this right here, gonna go ahead, we're gonna route this. Okay, some of you guys like to do it like this. Some of you guys like it like this. Now, since the factory do it like this, I'm gonna do it like this, even though you guys have standard, you guys can hit it. I don't know, it looks cool and all that. What do you guys think? In or out? Make sure both of the cables are looking clean. Run this piece right here is a vital piece to this. And this is the hard part. Right here, look, you guys are gonna see. There is a plate right here with this little, whatever you wanna call it. You look down and I could see an opening down here. There you go. Yes, this old dog could still do it. Tighten this, pull this thing down because look, see it? So now that it's pulling, it's good. I'm gonna go ahead, guys. I'm gonna tighten these guys down. Okay, so look, I've adjusted everything, but come here, look. See how one of the arm is moving and the other one's not? So that means the other side needs a little bit more tension. So I'm gonna give the other side a little bit more tension. There you guys go. Look at this. Look at all that. Front. Now, this is not an original piece. This is actually a kind of like a reproduction. The original piece is not as big. But imagine if this was here, okay? This thing would actually be rubbing against this versus this. We're gonna zip tie this up right here, okay? And it'll look clean. But this or this. Personally, I go with this, guys.
Ooh, the matching zip tie.
I'm telling you, this pink was better. There you guys go. Comment in, guys. what do you guys think about the way we did this and how we use this? Max was really smart. He came up with just a simple idea, guys. Sometimes you just need like other help, but just cut this, the rear. Comment in, guys. See what you guys think. What you guys would have done different. What do you guys think about the whole bike? I know this pink is not the day glow pink, but it's actually pretty nice. Kind of like that Miami Vice kind of theme, but I like it. There you have it. The 88 Dyno Pro Comp, this Spintech installation. Thank you for bearing this with me. You guys don't even know how bad it is with these guys around. Just farting left and right. You don't even know how bad it smells in here, but I'm getting out of here. Later.